Have you ever stood in your garden, hose in hand, and just felt like you're guessing? You're not alone. Watering can feel like a total mystery. So today, we are going to cut right through all that confusion. We're going to turn that guesswork into a simple, effective strategy that will take your plants from just hanging on to absolutely thriving. Let's dig in.
Yes, the big question. Every gardener, and I mean every gardener, has asked this at some point. You're doing everything you think you're supposed to, sun, water, but something's still off. The good news? Your plants are actually trying to tell you exactly what's wrong. We just need to learn how to speak their language. And believe me, the clues are usually right there in plain sight.
So, what are these signs they're sending? Well, first up, you see flowers and those lower leaves suddenly just dropping off. This is a classic signal of uneven watering. See, you might be wetting the top layer of soil, but you're not getting the water deep down where the roots actually live. So the solution isn't just watering more often, it's watering more deeply.
Okay, another major clue, you see those brown, crispy tips on the leaves? That is a telltale sign of a really erratic watering schedule. The soil is swinging wildly from being soaking wet to totally bone dry. That kind of inconsistency puts a ton of stress on a plant, and those brown tips are basically its way of screaming for a more reliable, consistent drink.
And then, of course, there's the most dramatic signal of all, wilting, shriveled stems. This is the plant's big red alert SOS signal. It means it's losing water way faster than its roots can possibly absorb it. Now, before you run out and just dump a gallon of water on it, let's talk about a much smarter way to handle this.
And that brings us right into our first section, decoding plant thirst. Instead of just reacting when our plants look sad, we're going to learn how to figure out what they need before they ever get stressed. It's all about learning to read the signs ahead of time.
And here it is, the core idea of this whole explainer. The secret isn't about watering more, it's about watering smarter. True success in the garden comes from understanding the when, the how, and the why of watering. It'll save you time, it'll save water, and honestly, it'll save your plants. Now, a huge piece of watering smarter is remembering that not all plants are created equal. Take something like an onion or celery. They have really shallow roots right near the surface. That means they need that top layer of soil to stay consistently moist. On the flip side, you've got deeper-rooted plants that can search for water way down below. They do much better with less frequent, but much, much deeper soakings. So how do you figure out what your specific plant needs? Well, you've got to consider three main things. First, the plant type itself. Are its roots shallow or deep? Second, the size of its container. You have to remember, small pots dry out incredibly fast. And finally, think about your soil. Is it sandy? It's going to drain in a flash. Is it heavy clay? That'll hold on to moisture for a lot longer. You know, instead of watering on some rigid schedule you found online, just let the soil tell you what to do. This is the simplest, most effective trick there is. Seriously, just stick your finger an inch or two down into the soil. If it feels dry down there, it is time to water. If you feel any dampness at all, you can wait. I'm telling you, this one little habit will change everything.
Okay, so you've nailed down when to water. But how do you make that water last longer and work harder for your plants? Well, that brings us to our next section, and to what I like to call your new secret weapon, mulch.
So, what even is mulch? It's actually really simple. It's just any organic material, think wood chips, straw, even compost, that you spread out over the top of your soil. Just think of it like a protective blanket for your garden. It is one of the absolute best things you can do for your soil's health.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The book How Plants Work puts it perfectly. Mulch creates this ideal environment where roots can just efficiently soak up water, oxygen, and all the nutrients they need. It shields the soil from all kinds of extremes. The expert advice couldn't be clearer. Mulch away. So, mulch delivers this amazing triple benefit. First, it holds on to moisture by blocking the sun and wind, which means you have to water way less often. Second, it keeps weeds down by blocking the sunlight they need to sprout. And third, as that organic mulch slowly breaks down, it feeds your soil, enriching it with all these vital nutrients over time. It's a win-win-win. Now listen up, because this is a crucial pro tip. When you're putting down your mulch, do not pile it right up against the plant stems. You want to leave a little space, maybe an inch or two, like a little collar around the stem. This lets air circulate and prevents moisture from getting trapped, which can cause the stem to rot.
All right, so we're watering at the right time and we're using mulch to keep that precious moisture in the soil. So now let's talk about making the actual job of watering way more efficient. This section is all about using systems and techniques to water smarter, not harder.
If you are looking for the absolute gold standard in watering efficiency, you really have to look into drip irrigation. These systems use these little tubes or dripper lines that deliver water slowly and directly to the base of each plant, right to the roots. It means almost zero water is wasted, and it saves you a ton of time.
So how does drip really stack up against a traditional sprinkler or just watering by hand? Well, it's not even a contest. Drip irrigation is so much more efficient because you lose almost nothing to evaporation. And by keeping the surrounding soil dry, you get fewer weeds and you dramatically lower the risk of fungal diseases. For any serious gardener, it's a total game changer.
But hey, whether you use a fancy drip system or a simple watering can, some golden rules always apply. Your goal should always be to water deeply, but less often. This really encourages your plants to grow these deep, strong, resilient roots. And try to water early in the morning. This gives the leaves all day to dry out, which really helps prevent those nasty fungal diseases from taking hold.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. We've gone from diagnosing sick plants to really understanding their thirst and using awesome tools like mulch and smart irrigation. So for our last section, let's pull it all together into one simple, powerful plan you can use for your own thriving garden. Here it is, your 3-step plan for watering success. Number 1, check your soil first. Forget a rigid schedule and let your plants tell you when they're thirsty. Number 2, mulch your garden beds. It is the single best thing you can do to save water and build healthy soil. And number 3, water deeply and efficiently. Aim for the roots and try to do it in the morning. That's it. Check, mulch, and water smart.
You know, at the end of the day, a garden isn't just a project. It's a living, breathing system, and it's trying to communicate with you. When you start paying attention to the soil, the leaves, the roots, you stop being just a caretaker and you become a collaborator. Your garden really does have a story to tell. The only question is, are you ready to listen?